I vividly remember starting one up without someone in the cockpit, and it nosed in and blew the prop. I thought my flying days were finished, but they forgave me. I went from Narendra to Quinte, which was equipped mainly with, wholly with Wirraways. The Wirraway wasn't as forgiving as some of the other planes, and you make a mistake in landing, you could drop a wing, and of course that had bad results. We lost a few pupils from that fault. Before I could get a posting to a squadron, they decided to make me an instructor, and they sent me to Central Flying School, which was at Parkes, to do the instructor's course, which I did reluctantly because I wanted to get into a squadron, and I was posted from there to Morotai as an elementary instructor, which was pretty boring, but that's what happens. The only aircraft to fly were the Tiger Moth, which was quite an easy, pleasant aircraft to fly. Instructing was no trouble. My main function there was to try and get away from it. I was attached to 77 Squadron when they were at Morotai, and just before the Borneo invasion, which was pretty well towards the end of the war. We were mainly doing survey work, looking for Japanese occupation, especially if they were travelling by small boats. We used to shoot them up. No roads in Borneo in those days. The Japanese travel mainly in barges at night, so there were a few pre-dawn takeoffs to try and catch them on the rivers, which we did a couple of times. We used to strafe the Jap strips and looking for concealed aircraft, and it was possible then to fly into the back of your own .5 bullets, which could cause damage to your aircraft. We found that out the hard way too. To puncture a hole in the wing or the fuselage, but I didn't hear of anyone being hit in the cockpit though. Well, with 6.5 machine guns blasting forth at once, there's a lot of recoil, and of course that doesn't have an effect on the speed of the aircraft, which we estimated at about 20 knots. Didn't make any difference to its flying ability though. I just tried to keep the aircraft stable so that you've got a good sight on the targets. If you're just strafing a Jap strip, of course you just don't care where the bullets go. By the time you hit something, you're gone, and you don't hang around, of course. Just as the war was ending, the powers that be in Melbourne and Air Board decided to fit the squadron out with Mustangs, and I was lucky enough to be there and get a conversion onto Mustangs. We flew them around Borneo, mainly on observation work because the war was ended. We weren't supposed to shoot anyone, although it did happen. And they were preparing the squadron to go to Japan in the occupation. I signed up for the occupation, but I had some domestic problems. My poor mother was very sick, so I pulled out of that, and then we ferried the Kitty Hawks back to Brisbane.